Hello everybody. Wanted to do a quick tip video today on testing Ubuntu 19.10 and an efficient way to do that if you want to continue to test downloading dailies on a regular basis. So as they finish out the development cycle, there are daily builds, and not every single day in some cases, but there are usually new images to download on a regular basis. And rather than re-downloading the entire thing every single time, you may or may not be aware of something called zsync, and that's what I wanted to show in just a really super quick video on how that works. So I'm going to look at Ubuntu Mate's daily, and this is from today. And if I look at the files that I already have, I have the Eoan desktop AMD 64 file here. Now I could download the entire thing again, which is 2 gigabytes, or I could use zsync, and you tell it the input file, which is going to be Eoan, and then you give it the zsync file path. So I'll just go ahead and copy this and paste that in there. And what this does is a comparison between your local file and the file on the server using that zsync file that you just pointed it to. It goes through reading the file and then just looks for the differences between the current file that you have and the file that's on the server. So the file that's here is from the 11th of September, and it's the 24th today, so it's been a few weeks. What I expect to see is that there will be, I don't know, it'll be 80% or 85%. We're pretty deep into the cycle right now for development, so it might be even more change. What it's going to do is just evaluate the file, like I said, and then at the end of that, just download the piece that it needs. And so you can imagine if you're doing testing on a regular basis, maybe every day or every other day or once a week, whatever it is, this is a really efficient way to grab that latest image, reinstall, and start any kind of testing that you wanted to do, or follow through on a bug that you may have logged, whatever the case is. And I'm just gonna let this finish and I'll come back and show you what it looks like. All right, so I was actually a little overly optimistic. So it was 70% of, I'm not exactly sure the exact way to say this, the delta between the two. So 70% of the data, 69.7% of the data was the same in the image. And so now it's getting the parts of the image that are not the same. And you see here, it's giving me the speed and the ETA. So I'll let this run through and then we'll take a look at it at the end. All right, so it finished. And at the end, it does a checksum just to verify. It tells you how much it fetched. Looks like about 660 megs, which is much better than the full 2 gigabytes. So now I have the image, and I can go to, if I'm using VirtualBox or whatever, to my Ubuntu Mate install, attach that, rerun the install, and see what new progress has been made. If you don't have zsync installed already, it's just in the repository, so you just apt install zsync. You do have to download the initial file, or else it can't compare it to anything. But once you've done that first download and you're doing this on a routine basis, it'll be even less than what you saw download here. It might only be 20 or 30 megabytes or something much smaller. So anyway, that's it. Super quick tip. If you're doing this testing, this is just a really convenient way to do this. It saves you time. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.